Our first guest takes center stage here on YourTV next Wednesday, March 17th, for her State of the Town address and event. Niagara-on-the-Lake Lord Mayor Betty Disero, welcome to The Source. Tell us what's in store for us in that State of the Town address, Betty.
Well, I'm going to be talking about themes that council has been working on in terms of bringing forward directions into the town. Like the three themes that are very important to us is one, planning a vision for our town and getting a vision put together. Also another theme was finishing unfinished business. Things have been floating around, some things that have been floating around for years that finally needed to get finished, and a sustainable budget and how we put in place steps towards the sustainable budget. With COVID and everything over the last year, getting to that sustainability is impossible, but we need to have a plan in place to get there. So that's what I'm going to be talking about, themes. I'm also going to talk a little bit about the business community and what we'd like to do and where our town is going. What is our brand? I'm sure different people have different ideas.
We did see some businesses, some local businesses close up on Queen Street, and it's heartbreaking to see that happen. I think we all expected some businesses would not be able to weather the storm, and as we approach a year, that seems to be the case. What do we do to make sure that we get new businesses in those locations and convince them that they can stay?
Whenever a business has to close its doors is not a good thing for anyone. But we've been a little bit fortunate in that some of the people or businesses from the side streets are moving up onto Queen Street. They're taking some of the space as well. Some of the businesses on Queen Street are expanding a little bit, and so while I don't think there's going to be a lot to fill, what really bothers me is the areas that we have hoardings on Queen Street. They need to be encouraged to finish their building, so that way we get those hoardings, which look awful, off of Queen Street. Certainly not a good look for our heritage district. But I think the businesses on Queen Street, as long as we're now into a slow reopening, I think the majority of them will make it through.
Betty, speaking of the businesses on Queen Street, many restaurants there have some patios. People were finally able to visit those patios this past week.
I think we all agree, no matter whether you're a resident or business or rural or urban, that we would like to see patios on Queen Street. I think the way they look now, with the concrete barricades and all, and popping out into the middle of the road, I think we need to change that. And I think we need to have some discussions with our municipal heritage committee, the chamber, the restaurant owners, and find out how we can actually pop out the sidewalk so they're still in a sidewalk area. We also learned when we tried a couple of times to close Queen Street that people still congregated near the sidewalks under the shady trees. So if we can look at that behavior and look at how we do widen the walkable area, the pedestrian area on Queen Street without stopping the traffic, I think in the long run, that's going to be our look for the future. But we have to talk about that.
Betty, you mentioned off of the top the budget, and Niagara-on-the-Lake, like most of the other municipalities in the region, have not increased the tax rate that much for 2021, which is kind of surprising in light of 1 year of this pandemic.
In 2020, we have this really bad tendency to rely too much on parking revenue in order to provide for our operating budget, for other organizations and associations out there that look to us for help and things like that. So because our parking revenue was down so much, our staff worked really hard to cut out things, delay things, move things around, so that way the impact of that loss of revenue wasn't as significant. We also got some money from the provincial government and federal government to help us out, which really was a godsend. And they've just actually sent us a little bit more money now to help with the vaccine clinics and things like that that are going on, that the town will be responsible to pay for. But This budget this year, because of all of that, is really just a maintenance budget. Just pay what your obligation is in terms of increases, like to salaries, utilities, and things like that. There is nothing added to this budget that will help us grow as a community. So that's why, with only one more budget left next year, we have to sit down and really plan what is our strategy as a town going to be over the next 4, 5, 6, 10 years to get up to what we need to be at. We've had, if I can just say, we've had 3 reports come forward from different experts on facilities. We're $1 million a year short in maintaining our facilities. Roads repair and restoration, we're almost $5 million short. Bridges and culverts, we're $600,000 short. When you add all of that together, we only spend about $2 million a year to deal with all of that, and we're short about $5 million a year in order to maintain what we have in a way that is acceptable and meeting all the standards. We've got to come up with something to take us going forward.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Betty, and we'll be watching Wednesday, March 17th, right here on YourTV.